In this video, you are invited to become a part of the Society for Human Resources Management audience, where you can engage in Mr. Milton Hunt's highly sought-after presentation titled Maximizing Your Potential. This impactful address is inspired by the profound wisdom imparted to him by his mentor, Dr. Preston Bruce.
I'm full-blooded Native American from the Lumbee tribe out of North Carolina. Now, the Lumbee tribe is the 9th largest tribe in the United States. We reside in a little town called Lumberton on the 95 corridor going south. I see some people nodding their head. Now, we don't have gaming yet, but when we do, I'm going to work for the tribe. You with me on this? Because there's far more money in that than it is in this. So mom and dad came to Baltimore in the early 50s as part of the migration, leaving the agricultural background of the South, coming to what we know as the manufacturing boom of the North. And I was to ask my dad, why'd you come to Baltimore? He said, son, that's where a tank of gas would take me. Interesting. Settled down roots there, and I was born in 1960. Now I'm 63. I know I don't look it. Thank you very much. I appreciate you saying that. Thank you. And so I found myself surrounded with a group of people that had no idea who I was. I often say I had to learn to live, work, play, worship, gather with people that didn't even know who I am. Native Americans are the smallest minority group in the United States. There's only 6 million of us in the United States, of which I'm one of those card-carrying members. Now, anyone can certainly say you're Native American. Will be proven by genealogy, our tribal roots going back to the 1700s. And that's important that I tell you because there's less than 2% of us in the entire United States. Native Americans are the only group of people that must prove who they are by blood. So we're contributing to this economy by being tribal members here in an urban setting. 1996, I made one of the most quantum leaps of my life as I became executive director of the Baltimore American Indian Center, where I managed the tribal affairs for all 42,000 Native Americans here in the state of Maryland. I found myself lobbying in Congress. I found myself in the state legislature on behalf of healthcare disparities and healthcare issues. And so now that I've kind of told you this story, let me then take you to a place and time which prompted this message. Dr. Preston Bruce came into my life at age 18. I was an at-risk youth in southeast Baltimore. Does anybody know Fells Point? Can I see your hand if you know Fells Point? Well, I crawled home many nights from there, folks. I love her. She said, me too. Me too. She said, she was proud. Me too. Folks, I am living proof that Native Americans should never have alcohol. There's a sign somewhere that says, do not give him anything to drink, I promise. So Dr. Bruce comes into my life. Now, let's take a pin and stop right there and tell you who Dr. Bruce was. Little did I know that on this cold October night, this man would come across my path that would change my life. Dr. Bruce was appointed by Secretary Shalala under the Clinton administration to head the National At-Risk Youth Program. Well, I should tell you, he pitched for the Pittsburgh Pirates. His roommate was Willie Stargell. I should tell you, he was the first black principal in the state of Vermont. I should also go on to tell you his father was doorman at the White House under the Eisenhower and Kennedy administration, where he would go to the pool and listen to Kennedy talk on many sunny afternoons. And Preston became this person in my life that said something to me that if you have a child, I want you to tell them this before they go to sleep tonight. He would bend down and he would look at me right in my eyes, and this is what he would say. He said, Milton, I believe in you. And there was something about the power when he transformed his belief into me. I began to believe in what? Come on, you can do better than that. I began to believe in what? Myself. I began to think I could do it. I began to think I could run through walls. Now, I've been to the 9th grade 3 times, so if you ask me something about the 9th grade, I'm sure I can get that. So I didn't come by to impress you with my academia credentials. I came by to tell you I've changed people's lives for the last 32 years. That's awesome. I don't know if she was eating something hot. I wasn't sure what that was, but thank you if that was for me. So Dr. Bruce inspired this message. So January 10th, 5 years ago, I carried him to his final resting place. We spent 42 years together at the tutelage of Dr. Bruce. And I am what I am today because he came by my path and imparted these principles. I promise they will change your life. They took me from a nobody to the #1 Native American speaker in the world. They took me to the person that will touch 2 million people in this upcoming year. I don't tell you this to impress you. I tell you to press upon you. I am passionate about what I do. Whether it's in continents, in countries, I get a chance to leave people better than I found them. Let's dive into this message. So today on your table, you have a card. So if you want to connect on LinkedIn, you want to get a copy of today's presentation, you want to learn more about me, just scan the QR code. There's someone on the way going out the door that you can grab. I've also put my card up there as well. But I want to start with the thought of the day. Hey, may I ask your name?
Mike.
Hey, Mike, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Mike, I'm excited. Man, if I feel any better, I'm going to have to go to the doctor to get something to take for it.
All right.
Mike,
Yeah.
would you read that slide for me, please? Now, listen, just stay with me. Mike, what's it say?
If you don't like something, change it. If you can't change it, change your attitude.
How many of you know that, like when Maya Angelou said that, that was powerful? I remember Dr. Bruce came into my life and he said, you got a bad attitude. I said, you got to be kidding me. What's wrong with my attitude? My whole day consisted of what I was going to eat. Cheetos, Fritos, or Doritos. What were we going to drink? You know what I mean? We passed the hat around. Whoever put the most money in got the most to drink. I probably shouldn't tell you that story. I had a bad attitude. I was going nowhere fast. I was trapped inside a body that I didn't want to be in. Dr. Bruce taught me the most important thing. If you got something to write this down. Change the way you think and you can change your life forever. Here, I'll prove it to you. You're going to love this one. When life gives you lemons, what should you do? That's the most ridiculous thing you could ever do in your life. The power is not in the juice. The first question you should ask yourself is, why is my garden producing lemons? What have I done that's got lemons coming up in my life? If it's something you can't control, then bear it and move on. But if it's something you can change, let's change that today. Now, that was the first thing Dr. Bruce told me. He said, when life gives you lemons, you should pick the seed out of the lemon. You should plant the seed, grow an orchard, give away juice, sell juice, donate juice, and have juice for the rest of your life. Because the power's not in the juice. It's in the what? Man, I'm working awful hard and they didn't even get that. Are you kidding me? Where am I at? Hello? They didn't even pay me for this and I'm working this hard. You understand how hard I would work if you paid me? The power's in the what? Stop drinking the juice. Here's the juice. Always something happens bad to me. How many of you met that person? Shut up! We're already sick of you. Every day criticizing, complaining, and condemning. You ever work with people when you walk in the room, you say, how you doing? Hang in there. Well, I hope you're holding on tight. You only got to do it for 40 more years. That attitude. Hang in there. Are you serious? So Dr. Bruce began to pour into my life. He said, Milton, I'm going to ask you, is the glass half empty or is the glass half full? Now, obviously, I had heard this a couple times, so I'm going to press him with my intellectual knowledge, this PhD that's sought by people to speak around the world. I want to hear what he knows. I said, the glass is half full, Dr. Bruce. He just chuckled and said, I figured you'd say that. He said, who wants half a glass of anything? He said, pour it out and fill it up with what you want and wait for it to run over. But you got to change the way you think. So my whole life, I've conditioned my brain to think different than the others. Whatever the masses is doing, I want to do the opposite. Does that make sense to anybody in the room in here? No, it doesn't. Okay, let me paint a picture. I apologize in advance for this analogy. But if you're bowling on Monday and everybody's going bowling, I don't want to go bowling. I want to work on my mind. I want to read. I want to learn. I want to crave knowledge. I want to touch people. I want to impact people. Because I don't want to do what the masses is doing. I want to do the what? The opposite. I figured he'd have a little bit more energy, like he's right next to the fire. Yeah, you'd want to do something different. And so my whole life, I wanted to push the envelope to be something different. Can I see a show of hands of the people that have pushed in their career to get to extraordinary places that you never thought you could get to? Can I see? Oh, no. Don't hold your hand like that. You be proud of it. You put it all the way up there. You let everybody in the room see you because you want, there you go. We got 1, 2, 3. There you go. See, we're in a room with achievers that have gone on to do great things. Mediocrity doesn't live in your life. And Dr. Bruce insisted, Milton, become the best you can be. He would often say, you only have 168 hours per week. You can either spend them or invest them. But I promise you, you'll never get January the 25th at 12 p.m. again. It's over. What will we do differently, he would say? The impact upon man, woman, your community, your world. What will you do differently? And this man began to challenge me, folks, like you have no idea. Now, I remember, has anybody read the book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad? Well, he was my rich dad. He was rich in knowledge. He was rich in love. He was rich in emotions. He was rich in thinking. Now, my dad was a hardworking man. He came from the agriculture in the fields of North Carolina. You could not work him. But my father couldn't teach me what he didn't know. So I sought Dr. Bruce's mentorship. And all I can tell you is, if you listen to these 7 principles that he taught me over our last 42 years together, it will truly change your life. So it starts with what? It all begins with your what? It's on the screen. Attitude. Your attitude. If you think you can, you can. If you think you can't, change the way you think. Attitude. You ever meet the people that when they come in the office, it's like a dark cloud came by? You ever meet the people that when they come to work every day, it's this constant negativity? Let me tell you about a friend of mine. His name is Joe. I love Joe. I absolutely love Joe. Does anybody know what I'm talking about? Like, I got a friend you just love. But when Joe calls, this is what it sounds like. And it's just negativity after negativity after. And I feel like on the phone, I'm going like, Joe, shut up. But I can't say, Joe, shut up. But I have to listen to him. And it goes on for how long? Forever. Thank you. Great answer. Forever. And this, after about 3 months of this, like I'm beat down. Like I look at the phone now. Thank God for caller ID. And I go, am I up to it? Can I take another Joe? So I pre-framed Joe. Watch. Now when Joe calls, I go, hey, Joe, tell me some exciting, great news that's happening in your life, man. And this is what I hear on the other end. Hey, I got to call you back, Milt. That's what he says every time. Why? Because his attitude has got him in a place where he can't think of anything other than something negative. So my talk today stems around this thought. That Thomas Jefferson said nothing, and I repeat, nothing can stop the man with the right mental attitude from achieving his goals. And that can also be one man from achieving his goals. But nothing can help the person with the wrong mental attitude. And today I know I'm in the right place. I can feel the energy. I knew it. I knew it when Stephanie asked me to come. I just knew it. This was where I needed to be. I've followed you on LinkedIn. I've seen your social media posting. I wanted to come. I wanted to be part of this because I knew these are like-minded people that are making a difference in their companies, in their world, in their communities. That's the people I want to be around because you have the right mental attitude. So here's my 7 points that I want to cover today. And if you'd help me, let's go through them together. Number 1 is what? Purpose. A little louder. Purpose. Number 2 is what? Relationship. Yes. Number 3 is what? Self-image. Number 4 is? Fortitude. Number 5? Self-discipline. And 6? Number 7. Attitude. Attitude. Nothing happens in life until the man or the woman discovers their purpose in life. Does anybody know the 2 most important days of your life? The 2 most important days of your life. If you do, would you please stand up and give me the 2 most important days of your life? Would you please stand up? I'll wait. 1. Was she first? Excellent. He looked like he was third. I think okay. Stop. Nobody else stand up. All right. So we're going to reward this young lady for getting the right answer. Now, I promise you, I very rarely get anybody get it on the first try. So whoever is second, and I believe that's you, she's going to get one of the answers right. So pay close attention. What are the 2 most important days of your life?
The day you're born and the day you die.
And give her a round of applause. Because she got it wrong. Have a seat, please. The most important day of your life is certainly the day you're born, but not the day you die. If you haven't done the work, it's over. You don't get a chance to come back. If you haven't left a legacy, if you haven't made people better than they were when you found them, it's over. Sorry. Ma'am, you got one of them now, okay? All right. What is the two most important days of your life?
The day that you're born and the day that you find your purpose.
So you can have a seat. You can have a seat.
You can keep your cash.
No, you donate it.
No.
Give it away. You have to learn how to let people bless you. Give it to somebody. Give it to these servers. They'd love to have it. Give it to somebody. I can't keep it. You answered the question. Two most important days are what? The day you're what? Born. And what's the second one? The day you know why you were born. Dr. Bruce looked at me and said, you're a wandering generality, and you will wear the hair off the back of your head, and you will go to bed frustrated night upon night because you don't know where you're going. You think you know where you're going, but you have no idea. And I looked at him and said, okay, I'm sick of you. I am like sick of you. But there was something that kept bringing me back. How many of you know what I'm talking about? Like, I just knew he knew something that I didn't know. And here it is. You ready? That once I discovered my purpose, my life changed. From the first 12 years we were together, all he would do was help me change the way I thought. He would talk to me about my mindset. He'd tell me the books I'd have to read. He'd tell me the people to be careful associating with. And it changed my life. Folks, you have to understand, in the HR business, that may be your purpose, but you got to find the burning desire that wakes you up every day, that forces you out the door, that gets you standing in front of people, changing the way they think, changing their lives. What is that burning desire? Oftentimes I find that people will discover their purposes outside of what they do for a living. They love poetry. They love writing songs. They like sewing, whatever that may be. But you will live a far more fulfilled life once you discover your purpose. Now, let me help you. There's three things that happen when we know you've discovered your purpose. So don't miss this. The first thing is the thing you do the most will bring you a tremendous amount of joy. I didn't say happiness, because like you could be happy at 1 o'clock and unhappy at 1:15. You understand what I'm saying? Like, watch, I'll prove it to you. You just got a $100,000 raise. Oh, I'm sorry, it was meant for her. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, you can go from happy to sad like overnight, but joy is eternal. There's something that happens when you do it. You get a sense of joy around it. The second thing that's critical, if you're going to discover your purpose, is the thing that you enjoy doing that gives you the greatest amount of joy. Others will find joy when you do it. Like, it's almost synonymous with they'll want it too. Who remembers this song? I probably shouldn't do this, Daphne, but I'm going to do it. Raindrops keep falling on my head. Sing it with me. Sing it with me. Come on. That doesn't matter. Yeah. Red. Whoa. I'm never going to stop the rain by complaining. Yeah, that's it. Give yourself a round of applause. Good job. B.J. Thomas recorded that song in the early 50s. He was not the original writer. The original writer of the song lived in Rockville, Maryland. He wrote one song his whole life. He made multi-million dollars every time it played. And he said, that was my purpose, to write the song that would change people's lives. He's dead and gone. But we remembered it, didn't we? Huh? I remember 1978 when it would come on the radio. And I would sit there with my cassette player. I'm dating myself a little bit. That's a thing, like it's got a tape and you put in, you got to push a couple buttons. And I would sit there and ready and listen to the radio. And I knew I had to simultaneously hit record and play at the same. Yes, I love you. And boom, I got it. And my mother would walk in and go, what are you doing again? Oh, no, Mom. But think about the joy. The third thing will happen is you will be asked to do it all around the world. I don't know what it is you do, but I need you to find your purpose, the driving force behind your life. There's not a person in life that's gone on to do great things, that they first didn't discover their purpose. What is your purpose? The second thing I want to talk about is relationships. Now, Dr. Bruce really drilled this one into me. He said, Milton, there's 3 relationships you have to have. These are paramount to your success. He said the first relationship you have to have is with yourself. With myself, I said. He said, why every morning when you get up and you look in the mirror and you brush your teeth, ask yourself the most important question of the day. Do you like you? Because if not, you're going to take you with you wherever you go. We're already sick of you. You got to be in relationship with yourself. Now, men, you sit back and relax. I'm going to talk about me. As an alcoholic, as a drug addict, as a person that is divorced, as a person that couldn't be trusted, as a person that lied, as a person that was a character instead of a man of character for many years. I wasn't in a relationship with myself. I wore a mask because I didn't want to look in the mirror, because I didn't want to see what was looking back at me. I wanted to be seen like this here, but I wanted to do this over here. And sometimes our character will be exposed at the most unopportune time. So Dr. Bruce said, be a man of character and stop being a character. Oh, I couldn't stand him. I wish he would have. Never mind. The second relationship Dr. Bruce said I had to have was with my significant other, my spouse, my pet, my partner. Whatever it is I have at home that I spend quality time with, I must be in congruency with it. Can you imagine? Can you imagine the people that can't wait to get to work every day because they want to get away from somebody at home? Let me say it again. Can you imagine the people that come to work every day because they can't wait to get away from somebody at home? Because they're not in what? Oh my God, this group, what are you doing? I'm teaching as hard as I can. Come to the training. They're not in what? They're not in a relationship. Did you know the number one thing that happened during COVID is we saw divorce increase? Wonder why that was. I can't get away from you. I loved it when you went to work. Get a job. At a house. You know what I mean? Think about what I'm saying to you. We got to be in congruency. I'm the happiest. I'm the best when I'm in relationship. A beautiful woman, I'm in relationship with her. I don't know what she sees in me. Don't tell her. Got to be in relationship. The third thing Dr. Bruce said is imperative to your success is you have to be in relationship with the people that you spend 65% of your life with. Has anybody got a tip where that is? Work! At work. You ever see the people when they come in, you go like this, oh, no, not today. No. Oh, no, please don't call me. Then you call, oh, no. Has anybody ever been stuck on the elevator with them? And like you're on one side, they're on one side, you're looking at them, you're looking at your phone, you're looking up, don't make eye contact. Stay away from eye contact. Well, Dr. Bruce reminded me how much time I spent at work. It was quite depressing because I didn't really enjoy what I did because I got fired from my first 3 jobs because I learned some principles from my father that I thought were going to be conducive to my success. The first one was, and see if you can repeat this with me, it's my way or the highway. Hey, your father must have knew mine. So I got my job and I was a manager, so I went there and went like this. See if you can relate to this. I'm the manager. And that is the front door. Yeah. My father shared some interesting things with me that I'll share with you about relationship and people. My father didn't trust a lot of people. Matter of fact, this is what he said. Son, when he said, son, what do you think I had to say? Yes, sir. Who said yes, sir? Yeah. Yes. I swear your father had to know mine. Yes, sir. He said, we don't talk to strangers. We don't trust anybody from the government. Do you understand me? That was like really strong. So I go back to the tribal lands and start looking at our family's land and what had happened. And I saw where 100 acres was taken by the government. And I could see why he might have felt the way he did. The tribal lands was taken. And I could understand. And so I remember him saying, and we don't talk to strangers. Do you understand? And we don't like people from the government. And then I remember at 16, like listening to this being shaped. And watch this. He'd turn over in his grave. If he knew I made my whole living talking to strangers, and a lot of you are from where? The government. 85% of my clients are the federal government. The VA is my largest client, 400,000 employees. And so my point is, sometimes you have to unlearn some things that you've learned because it might not serve you well. And so relationship, let's look at the next one. Now, this one, I want you to really sit back and let me talk about my poor self-image. Because my whole life, I've called myself a chameleon. I have the ability to fit in whatever environment I'm in. How many of you have heard that before? I also learned another trait in the 80s that I thought was just stellar. I'm going to fake it until I what? Yeah. Let me tell you the danger about faking it till you make it. See, you know deep down inside you don't belong there. But you're going to walk in some shoes that you think you can. You're fooling them because you can fool some of the people some of the time, but you can't fool all the people all the time. And eventually your self-image begins to take a hit because I'm an imposter. But we teach our kids what? What do we teach our kids? That's not bad. I thought you were going to say fake it till we make it. But my point is, that's a devastating thing. The other thing about self-image is when you try to fit in, now you probably have heard this, am I being my authentic self? Am I being who I really am? And I struggled with that. I struggled with being in circles of my Italian friends and my Jewish friends and my black friends and my Asian friends. And I wanted to be what they were because I didn't think I was worthy. I didn't think there was any value in me. So Dr. Bruce said, stop trying to be everybody else. You're okay just the way you are. Who remembers the Saturday Night Live skit? And the guy would look in the mirror and he would say, how'd he go? He said, yes! God, I love you. How'd he go? I'm strong enough. I'm good enough. And what would he say?
Gosh darn people like me.
And I'm okay just the way I am. You remember that? I used to laugh when I came on because that was me. I just wanted acceptance. I wanted to be accepted. And at the risk of being accepted, I was alienating the very person I was. So self-image is critical. What goes in here, watch. Dr. Bruce said, what goes in here resonates up here. And then it'll come out right here. He said, but what goes in here sometimes can change this right here. He says, so you got to be careful what you put into your mind. I never forget the first time, folks, I was called a half-breed. It was in my senior year of high school. I was playing quarterback. And this kid said this, and I didn't know what it meant. Like, I had no idea. So I go home and ask my mom, Mom, my half-breed, my mother started crying. I knew right then I had to invoke the wrath of Milton on him the next day. How many of you understand what I'm trying to say? Like, he had to pay the price for that. That was before, a long time ago, not now. But my point is, all the things I've been told and heard, they resonate here. Yesterday I was in Salisbury, Maryland, training one of my clients there, and this lady said, Mr. Hunt, I want to show you something. And she said, you don't know this, but 5 years ago when you came and spoke, you said we cannot let other people dictate our future. And she said, I want to share this with you. She goes into her desk and top drawer, pulls this note out, and it says, you'll never be anything. The day you walk out this door, you can never come back. And it was some explicitives in there that I can't say that this person had said about this lady. And she said that 5 years ago when you said that, she said, I knew I had to write all this down, and that's my burning desire. She was crying profusely, Stephanie. I said, here's what I need you to do now. I need you to burn that because those days are over. She looked at me and she said, I can't. And here's why she couldn't. Because she didn't see herself worthy to be something other than what somebody else had told her she was. And that is my life, my whole life. Native Americans have the highest diabetes rate in the United States, highest alcoholism rate, the highest dropout rate. Folks, I satisfied every one of them. I checked every box. Laura, there's a place called Shepherd Pratt in Baltimore. I was institutionalized for depression for 3 days, where I had people surrounding me because they thought it was going to take my life. Because my self-image had got to a place where I couldn't see value in me anymore. Dr. Bruce stood beside me at the bed and held my hand and said, I believe in you. Again, I believe in you. You're going to come through this. And here's when I know you've healed. And this is when I know you can help people, when you tell that story from stage. Dr. Bruce, are you kidding me? I'm a motivational speaker. What would I sound like telling people I'm depressed? He said, Milton, you have no idea who you're going to help. But my self-image wouldn't allow me to. So, Laura, I decided to tell the story about 4 or 5 years ago. I'm in Ocean City speaking at a conference. Now, folks, I've been greeted a lot of ways when I come off stage. Some people have hugged me, shake my hand, can I take a picture here, talk to my son, all kinds of stuff. But this particular day, I see this guy coming down the center of the corridor. And it was a law enforcement conference, and he had a full uniform on. But the thing that troubled me the most was he had unclipped his revolver and started walking at a high rate of speed towards me. Now, remember, Native American, we do good with bow and arrows, but not guns. You'll get that later. You'll get that later. It's okay. Laugh at it. It's okay. So therefore, he took the revolver out and he said, last night I had this in my mouth. I was going to take my life, but if you got enough courage to stand here and tell everybody else, I can get help. Well, I had to go immediately to the bathroom because there's some things that I had to check. My point is, you never know what you go through that beats you up might help someone else. And so when self-image is strong enough, fortitude is great enough, resiliency can drive you to a place where only a few people can go. So in this room of champions today, build your self-image. That's the most important thing you can do. The next thing Dr. Bruce said is imperative that I must do is I must overcome obstacles. He used to say this all the time. He used to say life should not be measured by the success man has achieved, but by the obstacles that he's had to overcome. Death is a tough thing for people to overcome. All kinds of things happen. Catastrophic health things happen to us. It's tough for us to overcome. Some of you are going through a divorce right now, and you're brokenhearted because somebody let you down. Some of you sitting here right now got children on drugs and alcoholism, and you got all kinds of things in your life, and you're hurting. But you got to have resiliency. You got to stand in that fight, and you got to march forward with your head up. I know it's difficult, but life will come by and sit on your doorsteps at the most inopportune time. And that's when it's time to show people what you are made out of. You are more than someone that works at a corporation. You're an overcomer. You're a conqueror. But you have to first believe it. Dr. Bruce drilled into my head. Life is coming by to sit on your doorsteps. Will you be ready? Ha, man, are you kidding me? Who was this guy that came into my life? The next one is self-discipline. Self-discipline would suggest that I need to discipline myself. Does anybody remember COVID? Does anybody? How dare my refrigerator hold me hostage in my own home? I gained some weight. Lack of what? It's on the screen. Discipline. I thought every time I walked past it, I had to greet it by opening it and eating something. I've learned I've had to discipline my mouth. I've learned how to discipline my emotions. Who's met the person every day you come to work and look something like this? Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! And you go up to them and go, what's wrong? The copier's broke. Really? Does everything have to be 911 with you? You got to discipline your emotions. You got to bring yourself into discipline. An undisciplined person can't be trusted. How many of you know that? No, you don't know that. Okay, well then you know it now. An undisciplined person can't be trusted. The next one, Dr. Bruce said I had to have is a life plan. I had to have a plan for my life. I had to be the architect of my own life. He sit down and showed me how to set goals. He challenged me to have goals that would push me outside of my comfort zone. He said, I will not allow you to go through life without goals. He said, Milton, because if you don't have goals, somebody with goals will be by real soon to tell you what to do. And I didn't like that. I wanted to be the architect of my own life. This usually is a point where I asked if anybody has a well-defined goal-setting plan and you can stand up and show it to me, I'll give you $500. But it has to have dates on it. It has to show the pain statement that will happen if you don't achieve it. It has to have every detail, tactical, strategical. I'll give you 5 $100 bills if you stand up and show it to me right now. And so it is. Nobody ever takes me up on the offer. It better be everything or you pay me. Right? That's only fair. You better have it all written down. 25 years of that one person. I'll never forget that guy. He went on to become the CEO of his company. He went on to buy 2 more companies. Matter of fact, he's a multi-millionaire. And he looked at me today and said, I can't take your money, but my point is, do you have your goals written down? And the last one is, you got to have a good attitude. I'm not going to spend any time talking about that because I know I'm in the presence of people that have a good attitude. I know I'm in the presence of people that are accomplishing great things. I can look at your face and see the great attitude. You're all smiling. You all have this disposition like you can't wait to go out and change the world. Now, here's the challenge. Life is going to beat you down. So what are you doing to put positive back into you? What are you doing to reinforce yourself? So remember, your beliefs plus your actions will equal behavior. Your beliefs plus your actions. What do you believe? What do you do every day? Your habits are a byproduct of your success. Dr. Bruce said, Milton, 5 minutes a day is all I want you to read. Just 5. And if you get excited, read 10. But don't miss a day. Your daily habits. Who goes to the gym? Can I see your hand, those that go to the gym? I bet it's in your calendar, isn't it? Is it in your calendar? And you can't see that lady behind you, but this is what she does. It's her habit. Do something for 21 days and you form a what? Habit. Do something for 90 days, you form a what? Ah, you don't know that one, huh? Do something for 90 days, you form a lifestyle change. That's why those that go to the gym, it's a lifestyle change. Very good.
This transformative talk was the inspiration behind my ebook. For those who couldn't attend in person, I have a gift for you. Scan the QR code or click the link in the description below to receive a complimentary copy of my ebook, ensuring that you can maximize your potential.
If you are on the lookout for a dynamic speaker to elevate your next chapter meeting or event, look no further. Reach out to Mr. Milton Hunt today. With a wealth of experience and a passion for empowering individuals and organizations, Mr. Hunt is ready to bring valuable perspectives and enthusiasm to your audience. Let's continue the dialogue and collaboration.